In this video, I will be showing you some ideas for making three-dimensional greeting cards. This video is primarily meant to get you started with the techniques. Once you've got those figured out, you can modify the designs to cover whatever subject matters you'd like. Okay, let's get started. For this project, you'll need paper. I'm using construction paper, but any paper will work. Scissors, tape, or glue, or even a stapler if that's all you've got at home, and probably some markers or other writing implement. Now that we've got our supplies, let's get started making the first card. First, we are going to fold and trim the paper into the base card. I always like to hold on to my scraps. It makes my paper last a lot longer. Now that we've got our paper the right size, make 2 incisions on the inside piece. Fold the card back the opposite way to make it easier to manipulate. As I fold it, you can see how I pinch between the incisions and fold that part in the opposite direction of the rest of the card. That provides the structure for the pop-up effect. Now we cut out the thing we want to pop out. I'm going for a Valentine's vibe here, so I'm just going to cut out a simple heart. Now we can glue it down to the card and press on it firmly to make it stick. Oops! It looks like I made the heart a little too big. At this point, we can cut out a smaller heart and try again, but I have another idea. Sometimes a little improvisation can be fun. Let's go ahead and glue the inside of the card to the outside. This gives it a nice multicolor look, and it hides the hole behind the heart when the card is folded. See how the heart sticks out a bit too much? It looks like a tongue to me, so I'm just going to turn it into one. There. Now it has a cute bear or puppy or whatever to greet the recipient. Simple enough. Now that that card's done, you can write a note in it and send it to your love. Now I'll show you a variation on this type of card using some more cuts to provide a sense of scale. As you can see, I'm using the same technique as before, but the cuts are at different depths. You can play around and see how this works. It can get kinda interesting. Now I'm drawing and cutting out 3 trees in decreasing size. You can see I glue them on with the largest tree in front and the smallest in the back. This is called forced perspective. It provides an exaggerated sense of depth. If you wanted to get really detailed, you could create a whole diorama this way. Okay, on to the next card. For this one, we're going to create an inner and outer card like the love letter, but this time we're just going to make a single cut. Now this is the toughest part of the whole video. Pinch the card next to the cut in the middle and pull it towards the inside of the card as you fold the card. This will create a little triangle fold. You're halfway there. Just do it again on the other side of the cut and you've got it made. Since we were making a bird, I thought I'd give a little detail inside of its beak. I'm using red for its throat. If you want, you can make other things. You could make the fold-out part be a hole in the ground and hide a treasure chest in it. You could make a big frog mouth and put a fly in it. Whatever you think up. Give it a try. Now since we have the basic parts done, we can glue them together and finish up the card. I wasn't sure what kind of bird I wanted to do until I looked at the beak shape. For some reason, an owl seemed like the best idea to me. I just grabbed a marker and drew a goofy little owl. That completes this card. Of course you can write a note on it like, "I think you're a hoot," or something. That's probably best left to you. Also, a bonus with this card is that as you fold it and unfold it, the owl opens and closes its beak. Alright, on to the third and final technique covered in this video. This technique is more of a jack-in-the-box effect. For this one, you first cut 2 narrow strips of paper. I'm using different colors because I think it looks cooler that way. But depending on the card, you might not even see this part, so you can use plain white paper or leftover scraps if you want. Just place the ends of the strip together at right angles Tape them together, or glue, or staple, and start folding. It's a little like braiding, but easier. Depending on how thick you cut your strips, the end result will be more sturdy or floppy. These 3 were all cut from the same length of paper, but at different thicknesses. Make sure to experiment to see what works best for your paper. Finish up the paper spring by taping the ends together. Boing, boing. It's pretty fun. Now we have to cut out our card and decide what we want to spring forth when the card is opened. I didn't think too hard about it and just decided to do a classic Joker Jack-in-the-Box guy. You can do whatever you imagine. Maybe have some flowers pop out, or an airplane or something. Whatever fits the occasion. You can use glue to put it together, but I think my tape is probably a little stronger than my glue, so I'm going to use that right now. Here's one of my favorite tape tricks. If you don't have any double-sided tape, you can just use a loop of normal tape around your finger, adhesive side out, and now you've got a little clump of stickiness. It's an old technique, but a good one. Now just put the card together, and there you go, another successful 3D greeting card. So that wraps up this video. Here's a quick reminder of the projects in this video. If you have any questions or come up with some of your own ideas, share them in the comments below. Thanks from us here at the Newport Beach Public Library, and make sure to check out some of our other videos. Bye!